This video shows you how you can mark and comment on student work and how you can also snoop on them if they are doing work live in your online lesson. So I'm in one of my classes here. This is a set 6, year 13. And I set them some homework, which is due in, well, it was due in last week actually. So I'm going to show you how I am going to mark it. So you need to open up or expand the assignment, and then you click on View Assignment. And then when you click on View Assignment, it takes you into this page here. And I can see that 10 of my 11 students, we've got 11 students, have turned this in. One of them hasn't, and if I can see who hasn't, and that's that student there. So what I want to do now is I want to go into their work and actually start marking it. So there's two ways you can do that. You can either click on the student name in the left-hand side, or you can open up the work by clicking on it here. And just a quick point about how you can change the marks. So when you set up an assignment in Google Classroom, it is default to 100 points, which is obviously not particularly useful for A-level. So you can click on it and you can delete it, backspace it, and change it to whatever you want it to be, or you can have it ungraded. And I do use ungraded quite a bit. So if I'm asking students to do group work and I don't necessarily want to attach a mark to it, I will put ungraded. But for this one, it's an exam question and it's a 15 marker, so I've changed that to 15, and then you can see that down here all of the students have got 15 next to them. I can see that this student has handed it in late because I set a time for it to be submitted. And then again at the bottom I can see the one that is missing. This particular student has actually taken a photograph of some handwritten work, which is why it's not there. So let's go into the first student. So I'm going to click on the student name here. You can see the background of any kind of comments. So I'd already had a communication with the student while she was doing the work. To view the work, you just click on the document there and you'll see that it's opened up a new tab up here. And then I can see Angela's work here. So the students had to pick a big issue cover and then they had to do a 15-mark essay, which she has done here. So for me to mark this now, I can read it, and there's two ways of marking it. See that this plus button will come up here. If I wanted to make a comment about her sort of introductory sentence, I can highlight it, click on the plus, and then I can type in here, interesting way of starting, or something like that. And then I can comment on it. That will send a message to the student, and they will see that they've got some comments that they need to come in and have a little look at. The students will actually be asked to resolve the comments. So you can ask questions of your students by doing it this way. So I'm just going to delete that because I'm not ready to mark it yet. So if I cancel that, you'll see it disappears. So anywhere that you click, up comes the plus, or you can just hover on the right-hand side and up comes the plus. Those comments will stay on the essay. Another way that you can mark it is just to put a general private comment. I tend to put something in here when I want to give a sort of an overall piece of feedback on the assignment. And then if you have attached a mark to it, this is where you add the mark. And then you have options to return it to the student, and then that will send the work back to the student, and the student will then regain permission of that work. You'll still be able to see it though. So how do you look at more student work? Well, it's this arrow up here which is really useful. This takes you to the next student. So I can see now that this is Yvette, my next student. I can see what she has done, and I can do exactly the same thing again, and it tells me that she's turned it in. One of the really good things about this is that you can also see the work of students who have yet to turn it in. So if the work is missing, as I can see this particular student is, if the student had started it, I would be able to see what they'd done. And you can still mark it even if it's missing. This particular student, I think, is going to, as I said, attach a photograph. This is also very useful for, I say snooping, it's probably not the right word, looking at what students are doing if they're typing live. So tomorrow I've set a timed essay for some students. They're going to do it for 20 minutes in my online class. I will go through here, I will click through and I will watch what they're doing, and I might live mark it while they're doing it. Or I might pop a comment in there. And as soon as I add a comment, be it a private comment or a comment on their essay, the students will be able to see it. So although the students aren't in front of me, they know that I'm looking at their work all the time. It's quite a powerful thing because the student won't know whose essay you're looking at any one time. So that's how you mark. You can close that and go back to where all the student work is here. And then as I start to put in marks, You can see that that will change from 0 to 15. I can return it that way if I want to, or I can click there and return it. I can send a message. So that's how you can mark and snoop using Google Classroom.